Hello, hello. Let me preface this by saying I do not own the rights to this music. But tonight we're talking about signs that people are trying to control you. So I hope that you like, share, and tag someone in this video, and let us all be informed. Hello, come on in. Like, share, and tag as you're coming on. Say hello to me. Let me know, how are you doing? Okay, so we want to know how you're doing and are you okay? So tonight we're talking about signs that they're trying to control you. So as you're coming on, we want you to like, share, let people know that we're on 30-minute therapy with Dr. C. We're on live tonight. We'll get started in a few seconds. If you're on, say hello to me. Let me know you're watching. Hello, hello. Come on. Say hello to me as you're coming on. I promise you, we're going to try to do 30 minutes. I know I say it and I run over, but I promise we're going to try to do 30 minutes tonight on the head and nothing more. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. Say hello as you're coming on. Like, share, and tag. Let somebody know we're on. And we're fixing to give you some signs that they are controlling you tonight. These are subtle signs that you just may miss, but people are trying to control you and you need to know why. Hello, hello, hello. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I guess we can go ahead and we will get started. Let me turn off my automatic DJ, which would be me. All right. So tonight we're talking about signs that they are trying to control you. We do know that the spirit warreth against the flesh, as the Bible says. And so there are always spirits that are battling, trying to control us. But we also may have some people in our lives that may be trying to control us. And we could be just so used to their personality that we don't even recognize that they are trying to control us. So again, tonight, I'm going to give you some signs that people are trying to control you. I want you to put down below. Let me know if you're okay. Let me know how you're doing tonight and do your check-in. Let me know if you had a great day. Let me know if it was, could be better, or just throw the entire day away. So that is what we're doing tonight. Let me know how you're doing. And so we're going to go right into this. So the first way that you can know that somebody is trying to control you is if they are calling all of the shots. If they're calling all of the shots, what does that mean? Simply put, controlling behavior can look very basically like controlling all of the decision making in the relationship, whatever type of relationship you have with the person. And this can include everything from trying to decide where you're going to go, what you're going to eat, what you're going to order, even who your friends are. So if you have somebody in your life who is calling all of the shots, even after you have made a decision, they say, no, we're going to do it this way. And they're not up for negotiation. They don't like to mediate or compromise. Then you may have somebody in your life that is trying to control you. So again, if you have somebody, the first sign is that they're calling all of the shots. Everything has to be run through them before anything is permanent and final. And they have the say so about how things run, when they run, who runs it. That person could be somebody that's trying to control you. So the second way that you would know that someone is trying to control you is that they disrespect your privacy and your boundaries. Yes, I know that all the time we don't look at that as somebody trying to control us. But if you have set clear boundaries, remember a few weeks back we talked about filling up your emotional tank, making withdrawals and making deposits into your emotional tank. If you have someone and you have clearly outlined your boundaries and you have stated the need for privacy in certain areas, and that person or those persons clearly violate what you have asked them to do, then you have somebody in your life that is trying to control you. And so it can be a parent, it can be a friend, it can be a spouse. Disrespecting other people's boundaries and privacy is in fact a controlling behavior. And you can see it sometimes in parents who take the doors off of their children's room. And for example, you can have a partner or a spouse that repeatedly denies your need for a long time or even for space. If you're telling somebody, I need space right now, I just don't want to talk to anybody right now, and they violate your request, then you have somebody that is trying to force their will onto you. And that's exactly what controlling is when somebody takes their will and what they want and what they desire, how they desire it, and they force it on yours as if your desires and wills do not matter. So again, the first one was if they're calling all of the shots. The second one is disrespecting privacy and boundaries. You cannot allow people to push you past your boundaries. If you know that you have not had any sleep all day, and you said, I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna take a shower, and I'm gonna get in the bed. That is a promise that you made to yourself to keep yourself healthy. So if a friend calls and they say, hey, I need to talk to you, and you say, wait a minute, I'm going to bed early, I'm tired, I haven't had any rest. If they continue to say, no, don't get on the phone, stay on the phone, I need to talk to you, listen, they will even, this is another one, try guilt tripping. Guilt tripping. People will guilt trip you. And when they're guilt tripping you, that means that they're trying to control you. They're trying to manipulate you so that they can still get their desired outcome. And so again, when you have somebody and you're saying, listen, I promised myself I was going to get some rest tonight. If they cannot respect the fact that you need rest, they cannot respect the fact that you have set that boundary for yourself, but they keep talking, they keep you on the phone, then that person has controlling behaviors, and really they just need Jesus. That's all I can say. They need deliverance. Get your art. I'm just playing. They need deliverance. So again, disrespecting privacy and boundaries. Now, watch this, because this is something that happens in a lot of relationships. We're talking about romantic relationships, okay? So the third one is they are constantly checking in. They're constantly checking in. You just text them this morning and said, good morning, at 8 o'clock. By 8:15, they're asking you where you are. So you're like, I'm at work. By 8:30, they're like, okay, what are you doing? And you're like, I'm still at work. And you're consistently and constantly having to check in with this person. That is a controlling behavior. Listen, nobody but you and God needs to know what you're doing every minute, every hour, every second of the day. If you have someone in your life and they're telling you, it's one thing when they're saying, let me know when you make it there safe. That's called love. But after you've arrived, if they feel the need to keep constantly checking in on you, where are you going? Who are you going with? How long are you going to stay? Let me see the person's name. If you're going with them, let me see a picture of them. Let me get their phone number. Yes, and that does happen. Trust me, it does. And if you find that there's someone in your life who is doing that, you constantly have to check in with them about what you are doing, but they're not telling you what they are doing, then you have somebody that is trying to control you in this relationship. And so, as I stated, there's nothing wrong with checking in with someone when, they're not feeling well or from time to time. But if you have somebody that's like, where are you? Who are you with? Send me a picture so I can know that that's where you are. Are you serious? Are you kidding me right now? No, sir, no, ma'am. That is not required for a relationship. And essentially what you have additionally in addition to that person being controlling is insecure. Now, let me remind you that fear has babies. We talked about that last week. Fear has babies. And so a controlling spirit is a baby of fear. Why in the world is control connected to fear? Because when you feel like you're about to lose control, you fear losing control. You fear things not going the way that you want them to go. And so when you find a person that has to control things, put it over here. I got it. I do it. I take care of it. That's mine. Don't touch that. Don't worry about that. I handle it. That is fear. That they cannot control the situation, nor can they control the outcome. So you have to be careful about that. And so another one, remember, another way that people will try to control you is they isolate you. Yes, I know that we don't think about the fact that isolation can be a method of control, but it is. If a person is, they call it playing mind games. If a person is trying to control you and you're not going the way that they want you to go, or they want to prey on your self-esteem, one thing they may do is isolate you. They call it love bombing. They'll give you a whole lot of love and then they just disappear. It's all about control. It's all about making you feel like you need them more than they need you. And so what they're trying to do is essentially get you to run to them, get you again to cooperate with what they want you to do, how they want you to do. And sometimes they will even talk to people to isolate. Listen, I've not seen so much travesty in my life where people will talk against others to other people to get them not to like another person. Okay, we called that bullying when we were in school, but it's also isolation. They're causing you to feel like you don't have anybody else. I've seen this in a lot of romantic relationships, and it is both men and women. It is not just men, but I'm going to use a man for the sake. So again, you could have a woman there who she's at the house and she does not work. The man is the provider. Okay, so one method of control would be that, okay, if you don't do what I want you to do, how I want you to do it, I'll make sure you don't have any money because I'm the breadwinner. We both know I'm paying all the bills and you don't have the money to do what you want. So if you don't want to do what I say, then I just won't give you any money. I'll cut you off and I'll isolate you from the resources. So you have to be careful about people who are trying to isolate you, because that is another form of control. We did talk about guilt tripping already. We talked about guilt tripping. Now, this is something that you have to really be careful about, because people will try to make you feel guilty for sticking to your own boundaries. They'll try to make you feel like you're in the wrong because you're asking them to respect your boundaries and to give you privacy or to give you time or even to give you space. And if you're doing that, they sometimes, if they're trying to control you, will guilt trip on you. What is guilt tripping? It can look like a lot of things. And they can make you guilty in relationships for not spending time with them, or for wanting more time to yourself. And so over time, this can lead to someone doubting their own needs, or at least you are deprioritizing your needs instead of prioritizing your needs. You'll start to notice that your needs are becoming less and less important, but their needs will be above your needs because of the fact that they made you feel so guilty about choosing you. I told you a couple of weeks back, you have to choose you and be okay with choosing you. Because people are not in your shoes. They don't know when you're telling them that you're tired. They don't understand how tired you may be. And so again, they will say, well, you know what? I've always been there for you. You mean to tell me that you can't be there for me this one time? Yes, I will. But after I get some rest. Can I get some rest first? When I awaken, I will call you. No, that's okay. I don't have anybody to be there for me. And so I guess I can just add you to that group. You're not there for me. I'm all by myself. I'm going through this by myself. That's okay. If you're hearing comments like that, that person or those persons, they're guilt tripping you, and that is a method of controlling you. So you definitely have to watch out for that. I'm going to give you one more. Let me see. All right. So jealousy is a form of control. That's right. Jealousy is a form of control, because jealous behavior can range from harmless to extreme. And when someone is jealous of you, they're going to do everything that they can, number one, to stop you. They're going to do everything that they can to make you look bad. Jealousy is something else, but envy is simply the time when jealousy turns into hate. That's what envy is. You have people that are not just jealous of you, they envy you. They envy you. They hate all that you stand for. And just the essence of who you are seems to get up under their skin. If there's somebody that even mentions your name, it sends a trigger off in them, to the point where other people begin to be uncomfortable and they can't speak freely about you because this person feels some type of way about you. I'm pretty sure that you have encountered some people like that before in your life. And so you have to watch out for jealous people, because they're trying to control the narrative. They're trying to control your narrative, and they will spin the story as many times as they need to spin it in order to make you look bad and in order to make you lose out. So you have to be careful about jealous people. Now watch this. This is going to be one that you didn't see coming. Another form of control is conditional love. I didn't say unconditional. I said conditional love. What is conditional? Well, we know that Christ has unconditional love for us. He's done everything he could, including giving his life for us. And guess what he did? He still gave us a choice. Jesus died for us and still gave us the right to choose him. But if you are with someone who is trying to control you, then you will start to notice that they have conditional love for you. What is conditional love? Conditional love means I only love you as long as you're meeting the terms of my agreement. I'm going to let that sink. I love you as long as you're doing what I want you to do. I love you as long as you're doing it my way. I love you as long as you're giving me what I want, when I want it, how I want it. I will love you long time. I will love you long time if you give me everything I want, everything I need, everything I desire. If I got you jumping up out of your bed at 4 and 5 in the morning, running errands for me, as long as I am doing for you, then I love you. But the instant that you say and you tell me no, you deny me, then we have a problem. And you will start to see that their love for you is not even genuine. It is based on what you can do for them, not who you are to them. You should just love people because we are God's children. But if you're dealing with someone who is controlling, then their love is going to be conditional. Yes, I'll give you as long as you're giving me. But if you stop giving me, I'm going to stop giving you. And so you have to be careful about that. Withholding love and affection or approval. Listen, husbands and wives, you cannot be holding out on sex just because you are angry at your husband or angry at your wife. That is controlling. The Bible even lets us know that when we are married, our bodies are not our own. That means that even if you are upset, if your spouse wants to come in unto you, you cannot deny them sex because of the fact that you're upset with them. If you do, then your love is conditional. You're trying to control. Well, I'm mad at him. He did X, Y, Z, blah, 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 blah. Okay, but you're still his wife, or he's still your husband. And so again, when you are trying to control things because you are angry, then you have to be careful to make sure that you're not doing this because of the fact of what they did. Real love is giving and knowing that I may never receive this back from you, but I'm going to give you love because that's what I'm supposed to do. Now, I'm not saying get in a situation, where if the spouse, the wife or the husband, if they're cheating on you or if they're beating you or anything like that, deny them everything. Deny them everything if, they're putting you in a predicament as such. However, let's say you just had a little spout. Y'all got into a little argument or something, and you're still mad, but your husband is not. Your husband is like, come on, baby. Let's just come on in here, forget that this ever happened, and let's start over tomorrow. Come on, let me love on you. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. I'm not in the mood. Okay, you're over it, but I'm not over it. Okay, first of all, Shanae, you're wrong. Okay, because you are denying your spouse, your husband, to show you affection because of the fact that you still are not over it. You listen, I know I'm saying some stuff and y'all are just like, what in the world? Listen, I'm telling you the truth. You cannot deny your husband and your wife affection simply because you are upset with them. You need to sit down and talk it out and then work it out other ways, okay? So I've given you some ways tonight that you can know when somebody is trying to control you. And you have to listen to what they're saying. Watch what they're doing. Watch their patterns, because people who have controlling behaviors, when they're trying to control you, they repeat patterns. You ever seen where somebody that just couldn't stay with anybody, they have relationships that last like 2 or 3 months. Then the next time you see them, they're with someone else. There are patterns that person has, especially if they're controlling. And you've got to be able to identify the patterns, and you got to be able to know the signs as to when somebody is trying to control you. So I hope I helped you tonight. We're staying on only 30 minutes tonight. But if you have questions, go ahead and put them down in the comment box, and we can get those questions answered. Because listen, you got to have control over your own mind. You got to answer for everything that you do. We have to give an account for everything we do while we're in this body. Don't let another person shape your narrative. I'm going to say that again. Write your own story. Be comfortable writing your own story. Don't let someone else control your narrative of how your life goes. Let me tell you, I'll share with you. I've been in that. I grew up in the church, and I had gotten to the point where I was listening to certain prophets and prophetess, and whatever they said, that's what I built my life upon, because, I believe them as a prophet or a prophetess. But there are some prophets and prophetess who are operating in witchcraft. What do I mean? They will use their gift to be able to manipulate and control what you're doing. The Lord says you better do this or this is going to happen. Okay, and so they get you in so much fear until you feel like that's what you have to do, or that bad thing is going to happen to you. And so I grew up in that, being fearful of what would happen if I did not do what this prophet or prophetess said. Okay, but when I learned better, then I did better. I was able to say, that's not God. That did not come from God. And I would stand there and no, I don't receive that. You don't have to receive every word that is spoken over your life. Did you know that? You do not have to receive every word that is spoken over your life. If someone speaks a word over your life and number one, it does not line up with what God showed you, what he has spoken over your life, what he has revealed to you and what he's promised you, you do not have to accept a word from anybody if it is not what God has spoken over your life. You have got to get control over you. You've got to be able to speak with boldness and say, hey, that's not God. I don't receive that. Thank you for the word, but that's not for me. Okay? Because that's not what God told me. That's contradicting what he showed me. This is why a relationship with God is so essential, because when you encounter people who will use their gifts to manipulate you, and I might have to do a whole nother live about that. If you want me to, y'all, let me know. Let me know in my chat box or in the private message. Might have to do a whole nother live on the church and manipulation. It's different. Now, I'm not bashing the church, because I am the church. You are the church. We are the church. But there are people who have gifts that will manipulate you and try to control you because they have a prophetic gift, or they have the gift of discerning. They'll try to get ahead of what they know is about to happen so that it won't be able to happen for you. So you definitely have to be careful about that. And again, don't be afraid to say, that's not for me. That's not God at all. Thank you for the word, but I can't receive that, sir. I can't receive that, ma'am, because of the fact that that is just not for me. It may be for somebody else, but it's not for me. So again, know the signs. Know when they're isolating you. Know when they're giving you conditional love because you have stopped giving them and doing everything that they want you to do. Know when they're trying to guilt trip you. You got to know the signs. Know when they're trying to be the one that's always calling the shots. Nobody can make a move until so-and-so gets here. Well, we have to wait till the pastor gets here. Okay, but has the pastor not equipped some of you all to make decisions in his or her absence? If they have equipped you to make decisions in his or her absence, then make them with confidence. But there are some pastors that don't let anything happen except that they are there. I'm telling you, it's all control. You have managers like that. They call it micromanaging. Even in the workplace, it's called micromanaging. They're always checking behind your work. What is coming to your desk? What are you doing? What are you looking at? What are you reading? How long is that going to take you? Okay. And so if you have someone at your job that is a supervisor above you and they are micromanaging you, you're starting to notice those signs. Yes, that is a person that is trying to control you. They're not trying to support you. They're trying to control you. So I hope that this has been helpful. If you want to sow a seed tonight, sow the seed by sharing this broadcast. Share it with your sister. Share it with your brother. Share it on somebody else's page. Share it in a dating page. Let people know that, listen, hey, you got to recognize when they're trying to control you, and you got to get ahead of them, because when you get ahead of them, that lets them know that you're on to them and they can't control you anymore. Listen, I hope that you all have enjoyed this. I hope you've gotten something from it. And I think I did my time tonight. I think I got right there at 30 minutes. So again, I want you to be in control of who you are. Be fearless. Be powerful. And make sure God is getting the glory out of your life. Until next time, this has been 30-Minute Therapy with Dr. C, and you don't control me. Listen, I love you all. Share this message.